There's a power play going on in the phosphate industry, with Minemakers making a hostile takeover bid for joint venture partner UCL Resources. Together they own the Sandpiper project off the coast of Namibia, which potentially will produce almost 2 billion tonnes of phosphate over the next 20 years. UCL has rejected the takeover offer, calling it inadequate and opportunistic, as Emily Stewart reports.
It takes 100 million years to form phosphate, a major farming input that's fast becoming a scarce commodity.
To feed 9 billion people by 2050 will require more food and hence more fertilisers. But on top of that, we're also seeing increases changes in the diet of the population, the global population, particularly towards more meat and dairy-based products, which require more phosphorus inputs to produce.
Prices for phosphate have spiked in the past few years, up to $400 a tonne, which has sparked a new interest in exploration. That's why the Sandpiper project, a huge marine deposit of almost 2 billion tonnes of phosphate, is so valuable. The project is owned by UCL Resources, Minemakers and property development company Tungini. But Minemakers wants to run the show, making an unsolicited bid of $24 million for UCL Resources. Fertiliser analyst Matthew Trivett says the offer missed the mark.
A lot of the later shareholders got into UCL probably around the 36-cent mark, and also, with the actual feasibility study for the Sandpiper project coming back in the vicinity of $600 to $700 million by my calculations, it really doesn't display the value of the project that they're trying to acquire.
The main concern that the UCL board has is that the UCL shareholders would have their interest in UCL's principal asset, that of the Sandpiper marine phosphate deposit in Namibia, diluted from 42.5% to 21.7%.
UCL's major shareholder is magnate John Karlbetzer, owner of the Twinem Agricultural Group. He's publicly rejected this and any other takeover offer.
Minemakers essentially has to attract 40% of the available 55% of other shareholders to get this up to the 50% level that they're requiring to push the takeover forward. So within those parameters, I think they'll definitely have to sweeten it a lot if they want to get this over the line.
UCL admits it would be better for one company to run the Sandpiper project. It won't give details, but hasn't ruled out a counter-offer to take over Minemaker.
It is quite difficult with two joint venture partners that are at the corporate level having a mild conflict, but we are determined that this will not slow down the project.
And with the resource becoming more scarce and prices staying high, analysts are calling for the diversification of phosphorus sources.
So we're not just accessing phosphorus from phosphate rock, but also looking to reuse phosphorus, because phosphorus is in human excreta, food waste, compost, all organic matter. So we can actually recover and reuse phosphorus and use that as an effective fertiliser too.
Or food could get a lot more expensive.